Let's go over a tool that all of us use, but oftentimes we struggle with. And I really believe that the reason is that we are not using the tool in a way that the dog is understanding. So what I have here is a simple leash, okay? But you see all the time people getting drugged around by their dogs and the dog's out ahead of them, and people ask all the time, how do I get my dog under control? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down what we use and how we use it, and hopefully this will help you with your dog at home. So the first thing is I love a slip leash. So a slip leash is a leash that slips around or goes over the dog's head and slips back and forth. And the reason being is just what I talked about before, I mentioned before, the communication side of this. This is a line of communication to your dog. So what's gonna happen is when I give my dog a command and I say sit, if they don't comply, pressure comes on. The second their butt hits the ground, pressure comes off. So we're gonna call this pressure on and pressure off. So again, sit, pressure on. As soon as their butt hits the ground, pressure off. The timing of your communication is gonna relay to the dog what is correct and what is incorrect. So pressure is incorrect, pressure off is correct. Why this is important is that I know I might burst your bubble here, but your dog does not speak English. My dogs do not speak English. I need to show them what it is that I'm asking. And so this is how we do this, is pressure on, pressure off. You can't do this with a flat collar. You can't do this with a harness or other leads, at least not very well. This is a very easy and direct line of communication. Now, the next level of this, what happens if my dog doesn't comply, right? So I say sit, pressure comes on, they still don't sit down. Sit, pressure on, sit, pressure on until they comply, and then that pressure comes off. And what you'll see over time is that you will get to the point that you don't even have to use this at all. The dog understands what the command is, you don't even have to apply the pressure, and the dog is under control. But it is because you've spent the time and you've communicated clearly to the dog what it is that you are asking out of them. So I'm gonna take Tucker out of the Lucky Duck kennel here, and we're gonna go through and do a quick little demo for you. Sit. Boy. Tucker, good boy, good boy. All right, so as you probably noticed, my leash here is a pretty short leash. I like this, especially for clients we send home, because it offers less room for error. So for you on your hand, if you have a really long lead, it's more for you to control. It's more gray area for the dog if you're not on your game communication wise. So I like these short little leads. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to heel. And I'm just gonna say sit, pressure on. As soon as that butt hits the ground, pressure comes off. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. Heel, sit, off. I'll come back here so I can talk to you guys. Heel, sit, off. The timing of it is so important, because if I were to do something like sit, pressure on, and I keep this pressure on, you can see he's looking at me going, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? If all of a sudden I keep that pressure on and my timing is off, I'm not clearly communicating. I go from, for example, speaking English to maybe now speaking Spanish, right? It's a different language. I don't understand. He doesn't understand what's going on. So the timing of it is very important. You are the trainer. You are the coach, right? The coach of this team. You need to be on your game as far as the teaching process. You're teaching them a new language. Be on your game and be intentional about this. So it's just simply sit, pressure on. As soon as your butt hits the ground, that pressure comes off. If you're consistent and you have a bunch of repetition with doing this, you're going to be very successful in teaching your dog these commands in a very clear way that they can be successful with it.